Kenan Chandy was 8 years old, old enough to run errands alone, but young enough to still hum lullabies to chase away fear. He lived in Bamvere, a village tucked between red clay hills and a forest so ancient, the elders said its roots remembered the world before humans learned to speak. Kenan was known for two things: his restless curiosity and his heart too big for his own good. If a goat went missing, Kenan would help look for it. If an elder dropped their calabash, he would pick it up before it hit the ground. If a bird chirped strangely, he would follow the sound just to know why. But Kenan had one weakness. He believed every story his grandmother told him, especially the Christmas ones. Grandmother Nara, his beloved grandma. On Christmas Eve, the forest opens its eyes wider, spirit walks softly, and if your heart is pure, the forest may speak to you. Kenan's imagination swallowed those words whole. It was the morning before Christmas Eve, late morning, when the sun was gold but soft. Kenan had woken early to gather firewood, but on his way home, he overheard two women at the river arguing. Their treasured
The Christmas goat is missing. How can it be gone? We must find it. I knew this would happen. Quiet, Kenan is listening.
Kenan froze. A missing goat? Right before Christmas? He imagined families disappointed, children crying, women complaining, Christmas ruined. And just like that, he decided he would find that goat, alone, quietly, before anyone noticed it was missing. He followed the faint hoof prints across the dirt, into a patch of tall elephant grass, then toward the shadowy tree lines. The forest pulled him like a whispered invitation. Kenan had stepped into the forest many times before, but never this far. Usually, he only collected firewood close to the edge, but now, following the goat tracks, he ventured deeper, past fallen palm leaves, past termite hills tall as houses, past patches of mushroom that glowed faintly blue. He didn't notice the time slipping. He didn't notice the way the trees grew thicker, the air cooler, the birds quieter. What he did notice was that the hoof print stopped and the forest shifted. When Kenan turned around, the way home had vanished into a wall of unfamiliar trees. His stomach tightened. He whispered to himself, "Stay calm, you can find the path." But the forest disagreed. By the time he realized he was lost, the sun was sinking, turning the forest into long shadows and flickers of orange light. It was twilight now, the hours when the forest held its breath. The air smelled of dust, ferns, and something sweet like old honey. Kenan heard a sound, soft, like wind brushing a flute, no closer to humming, a light shimmering between two iroko trees, as if the glow had been waiting for him. Before him stood a spirit, gentle and radiant, shaped like a young woman with skin the color of polished wood and hair made of drifting fireflies. Her feet hovered inches above the ground, like she didn't quite belong to the earth. She wasn't frightening, she wasn't loud, she simply existed, like moonlight or the hush before dawn. Kenan's voice trembled. Who are you?" She smiled softly. "I am Jale, keeper of the path." Why does an 8-year-old child wander alone in the forest at dusk? Kenan blinked. He explained everything about the missing goat, wanting to save Christmas, about losing the trail. The spirit listened with a gentle tilt of her head, and then said, "A child who enters the forest to help others never walk alone. Tonight, you have awoken the forest's attention." Without warning, something Angela's side rattled, a small carved calabash hanging from her waist. It shook angrily, jumped, and popped open. A face appeared on its surface, eyes blinking, mouth stretching into a pout. "Finally, I thought you would never let me speak," the calabash complained. Kenan's jaw dropped. "It talks?" The calabash puffed up. "Of course I talk. I've guided better travelers than you, though most were taller." Ngale chuckled quietly. "This is Mbata. He is loud, stubborn, and older than every tree in this forest." The calabash gasped. "Why must you always reveal my age?" Kenan laughed, his first laugh since entering the forest. "Well, child, if you want to survive this forest, follow my instruction. I am the smart one between us." Njale raised one eyebrow and mused. He believes that. Night fully settled, crickets sang, moonlight dripped through the branches like silver rain. The path split into two. One side warm, one side cold. Mba whispered, "Follow the warm wind. The cold leads to confusion." Kenan obeyed. the river of deep echoes. The river roared like 100 drums. The moon reflected on its ripples. Njale placed her hand on the water. It stilled instantly. Cross now, little one. The third obstacle was a sleeping thorn edge. Massive thorn edges snored softly like giants. Mbata instructed, walk lightly, do not wake them. Kenna tiptoed through hard pounding. Each obstacle, Kenna grew a little braver. Back in Bambere, Mama Nene was outside her hut, staring at the moon. She was old, bones like dry bamboo, but her eyes sparkled like someone who saw more than others. He is coming, she murmured. She stirred her Christmas stew, humming a tune known only to mothers who once spoke with spirits. Just before they reached the village edge, Njale stopped. Mbata stopped too, unusually silent. Why are you stopping? Kenna asked. Njale knelt to his height, eyes soft. Kenna, do you know why the forest answered your heart tonight? Kenna shook his head. Because Christmas is not only a day of feasting, it is a day when love guides the lost home. Your kindness woke the ancient magic, Mbata added gently, and your courage carried it. The spirit placed her glowing palm on Kenna's forehead. Whenever you act with love, Njale whispered, whenever you act with love, you will never walk alone. She dissolves into butterflies. Mbata rolled itself shut. Kenna stepped out of the forest and saw the glow of Bambere's lanterns. Before he could shout, Mama Nene appeared, arms open, tears shining on her cheeks. My child, she whispered, hugging him tight. Even the forest knew you belonged here. She walked home together, hands in hand. Families were cooking, drums were playing. The lost goat was found near another compound, safe all along. As they entered the hut, Kenna suddenly felt the spirit warmth again. Christmas had arrived. That night, as Kenna drifted to sleep, he repeated Njale's word. Christmas is not the feast, not the gifts, not the noises. It is the love that leads us back home. And in the quiet, warm night, he felt the forest humming as if saying, we will guide you again, little one.